All right, YouTube, we back, man. Been a minute. Had to tap in with y'all. My trucking page, man. I don't really be over here too much. I really need to start focusing more on this trucking stuff and get back to it. Because it's where I'm most knowledgeable at. I mean, I do the car thing. My car page is where I be at because that's my love, my passion, my hobby. But this is my business, my livelihood. So I'm very, very more in tune with this trucking lifestyle than anything else. But you know, trucking can be a very, very mentally challenging occupation at times, especially as an entrepreneur, owner operator, because this stuff is expensive. I mean, this is super, super, super expensive. So what we got right now, I'm in the middle of reinstalling my radiator. My radiator was leaking, and I didn't do a how to install the radio because the video that I followed, I'm gonna put the link in the description because the guy gives a very, very, very good video of what to do, and he's pretty much right in his act. The only thing that I would say that in addition to his video would be, but when you get ready to put this stuff back together, just put the bolts in and do not tighten anything down. Other than that, it's self-explanatory, because if you tighten everything back down, you will be loosening things so you can make the proper adjustments and get everything back where it needs to be. And the other thing is, make sure you got a metal magnet, because stuff falls and you can't stick your hand. I got to get something up under there now. One of these clips right here for these pins. I got to get that now. And so I had to go home and go grab that. And I had to get new charged air. These things, a lot of times on this hot side, they fuse around. You can see the orange where it's fused around. And so it's hard to get off. So I just cut them off and just bought new ones. I recommend going to Fleet Pride, or you get them off Amazon. I got mine I ordered them off Amazon. I didn't get in yet, but I went to Fleet Pride and I got them. There was, two off Amazon was $30, two at Fleet Pride was $67, and two at MHC Kenworth would have been like $250, right? So that's how I got around that. The radiator, I could have got the radio at MHC for like $800. Fleet Pride had it for, MHC was $900. Fleet Pride had it $800. I got it for $500 off of Amazon. And just looking at the structure of just where the pins go through here, this radiator looked a little bit more better built than the last one that was in there. So I don't know if the last one was OEM or was aftermarket, but this one definitely looked better off of Amazon for $500. But yeah, that's about it. What else I had going on over here? Just give you guys some things to look for when you're doing your trucking. These lines go to this fuel and water separator here, and up to there where that bag at, because they didn't want to get any dust, anything into my fuel line. I gotta pick that up. But anyway, those two, what happened was, let me grab that. If I can grab that. Can I fit up in here? Yeah. So what happened was, these two lines, the old ones, they rubbed together. They was mounted on together with nothing in between them, and so they rubbed together until they ran. I wonder why my truck kept giving me low pressure. That might have been the fuel filter, because if you with these, this is a FF 5776. That's the upgraded version for the Cummins ISX. But the FF 5825, the microns are bigger, I guess, so the fuel flows better and it doesn't trigger check engine light. That one will trigger the check engine light, I'm thinking, or it could have just been these two right here was going bad with the pressure and then throwing the computer off and giving me check engine light. But anyway, I was messing with this yesterday and I saw they were leaking, so I went and got these made. Now the dealership doesn't stock these, you have to wait for them. So they told me to go down to S&J in Griffin, Georgia, and they made these shits, man, in like 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It cost like $1.50 for that. So I got that done. We all know the cold kills the batteries. So it's been about 2 years since I put new batteries in the truck. I got those at the dealership, and it's weird that those batteries were, it ain't weird, but it's a good deal. Those batteries are $84 a piece. Fleet Pride wanted 114. The Love truck stop wanted 150 a battery. So that's that. So what I'm about to do now, about to turn you guys off for a minute, put all this stuff, finish putting this stuff together, put my water reservoir back on, my coolant reservoir back on, and put the charge air cooler pipe back on here. See how I had to cut this to get that off, and then that one just old. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna replace both of them. I gotta clean it off though. And she should be ready to rock and roll, man. After that, the only issue I would have with this truck remaining is it's time to get the engine resealed. So you got a lot of oil leakage up here, a lot of oil leakage back there, you know, because with all these motors, after a while you have to get them the gaskets where I had to get them redone. I had to do it on my Freightliner some years ago. I did it at dealership. That was like a $6,000 job. My mechanic, he's gonna do it for me. It might cost me like $2,000, $3,000 for him to do that, because I do have an oil leak that blows out the back. So it comes out the rear main seal up under there. You can see all that oil up under there. So it comes out of there and it blows back through here. It's not bad now because I've been driving my truck, but when I let other people drive my truck, they drive it harder than me. And I mean, that's just what happens when you put people in your equipment. They don't take care of the way you take care of, or their driving styles are a little bit different. And the oil leak isn't bad until you're under boost and you're stressing the engine. You keep the engine at RPMs, and you're going down the highway, and it blows all the oil back here. So all this residue is just oil, but it's dry now. It's dry because I've been driving it. And that's why I kind of decided that with this truck, I don't think I'm going to put anybody else back in it. It'll just be a situation where I'll probably end up buying another truck and letting them drive that. And then I'll just keep this truck for me and whenever I want to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Because people tell me shit, man. Every time I put a driver in my truck, something always happens. And then it's like, you hate to put it on them like that, but it's like, bro, I've been driving this truck for 6 years and I don't have those problems. You know what I'm saying? Or I pay attention to it. And like I said, it's not a perfect truck. It has issues, like it has an oil leak. But I'm going to check the oil every day. So it's not going to be a situation where I run out of oil and the engine lock up. You know, that had a coolant leak. So I'm going to check the coolant every day. Like that Radiator has been leaking for like over a month. I just didn't feel like doing the deal. You know what I'm saying? So, but with somebody else driving the truck, you know, they might let the radiator, the coolant get too low. Call your check engine light, shut off. You know, it's just a lot of stuff. Now you got to call somebody out. It's just a lot of things that happen, you know, when you put other people in your truck. I got another truck, you know, I got issue with a turbo. And that's another story. I'll probably do a video on that when I get back. But I got screwed over on that deal. But my driver didn't screw me over. He just didn't understand how. He does it now, but it's a learning process for him. So he didn't understand how to troubleshoot certain things, and it ended up costing me a lot of money in the back end. And again, that's another story. But not going to talk you guys to death. I just wanted to give you guys an update on what I got going on with this radiator install. It's that top bracket. This was an easy job. It was just getting all this shit out of here. You know what I mean? But again, I'm going to put the other video in there, tag the video in there for y'all to follow him and get a good in-depth detail of how to pull these radiators out. And I'll get back with you guys in a minute. All right, real quick on these batteries. This is usually self-explanatory, man, but just in case some of you watching just getting into this and don't really know, whenever you pull your batteries terminals off, they're gonna look like that, kind of corroded. These actually aren't bad. I've seen worse, but you still want to clean them up to make sure you have a good connection, because these are going to be clean, but you want to definitely get your other ends clean. So That's power. You're gonna definitely get your other ends clean, so you make sure you got good connection, because especially with these Kenworths, they are so finicky about power. Like once these batteries go through half their life on startup, when the battery, because they pull a lot, of power to start. The starter pulls a lot of power, so at start, once they get the batteries to the half life, it drains them down, and it kind of like gives you a code for the ECU that it's not this communication error, because it's draining all the power for the ECU to start the truck. It don't do that. I noticed that it gets worse as the batteries get bad. So like now, every time I start the truck, it'll act like it don't want to start, and then it'll finally start. But they give me that code on the dash with the wrench saying ECU communication error. But that's because the starter used all the power in the battery to start the truck. But when you put new batteries in it, you don't have that problem. But after about a year, that problem start with my truck, it start coming back, and then it just get progressively worse. And then till now, it's like, okay, let me go ahead and change the batteries, even though the batteries not dead, but after a day or two in this cold weather, if you don't run the truck, the batteries are dead. You have to jump start the truck. So it's like, you know what, let me go ahead and do that, because the batteries are progressively getting worse, and no need to be cheap on it. You have to cut corners where you cut corners, but you don't want to be somewhere in the cold and your truck won't start. So yeah, that's just give you a little game on getting those batteries terminals cleaned out. I got my brush here. I usually use battery cleaner, but I don't know where it's at. I'm not going to the store. So that's that right now. All right, YouTube, we back, man. We got everything back together. See my new hoses rather, put in. And this is what I do on most of my lines that I can't find something to brace them off with, to make sure you don't rub. So I got this going all the way down there, so when it won't rub up against that. And then what you do, when you're doing your pre-trips, just always check the lines to see if how bad they're wearing. Like this line that's on top of this radiator right here, you see it's kind of worn a little bit, but I still got a while before it gets through that rubber piece and gets down to that condenser line. We got the radiator in, all your pins in, except for two, but it was two. I couldn't get them to line up. It was just hard, and I lost these clips, and this pin kit is like $150. So I got 6 of the 8 in, so I got 2 on the bottom, the 4 on the top, and it was only, actually I got one less in than that was in when I started filming this. I'm not filming this, putting the radiator together, because there's only 7 in there, so it's 6 in there now. But that was mainly because I couldn't get those lined up at the bottom in that hole right there. So I got my charge air cooler back on with my new boots. I put 12, it's completely empty, so I put 12 gallons in here, and I had to get my driver to go get another 2 gallons. Then I'll go back to the spot and get some more before I get on the highway tomorrow, because I'm gonna have to go grab some oil and stuff. But yeah, but so far so good. It's in there, nothing's leaking, nothing's wet yet. But we're gonna see once I fire it back up. I'm gonna fire it up in a minute. Got my batteries in, got my new nut kit in it, everything's lined up. Truck is at the right volts for cranking. So we gonna fire this up here in a second, man. As soon as that coolant gets here. So we got it together, holding coolant. Everything fires up as it should. Got my trusted driver / business partner. Only thing I gotta do now is change that gearbox out, and which that's not really an issue. That's more of an issue for another driver, but it is leaking. Change that out and get that rear main seal fixed, and we'll be good. But yeah, that's it, man, for the day. Just want to give you guys a quick little update on what we got going on with the truck. Like I said, I'm gonna put in the description the guy who does a step-by-step on removing the radiator. You know, but this is trucking, do-it-yourself trucking. This is the only way you're gonna save some money doing this thing right here, man. You got to work on your own stuff, man. If you don't work on your own stuff, man, you can't. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be definitely hard to make it. Definitely gonna be hard to make if you can't do your own stuff. All right, but that's what it is, man. You already know what to do. I'm out.